All right, good morning. Had a lot of questions. I was at the Cityhood meeting for a very long time last night. I think I'm just gonna start to dive in and answer all your questions. And if you're not, in the East Cobb area, so sorry, you're probably gonna want to skip over all this.
No, that is still going to be a service that is provided for by Cobb County. You will always be a resident of Cobb County. It's just you're a resident of Cobb County within the city of East Cobb. Absolutely, yes, this will not change. Because back in 1979, Cobb amended the Georgia Constitution to allow for the senior tax exemption in Cobb County. Mainly because one, it's part of the Georgia state constitution now, and two, the services of schools will continue to be provided for by Cobb County, not the cityhood of East Cobb. So that is not going to change. Okay, sorry guys, I had to run an offer really quick that had to be in by 10 o'clock and my client let me know at 9:15. So sorry I've been a little MIA. But I want to keep going on answering the questions about the cityhood of East Cobb because it's a super important initiative that I very much believe needs to be passed through. And I want to continue explaining it because I feel like there's a ton of misinformation out there in regards to what it would do and how it would raise taxes. And it's not going to. So I want to explain a little bit of that. Okay, so you'll see on my property tax bill, I pay 2.86 mils for the Cobb Fire Fund. That Cobb Fire Fund, the money that I was sending to all of Cobb County for fire, is now going to be allocated for City of East Cobb, okay? There's a lot of different ways the City of East Cobb is going to bring in revenue. And I'm going to show you guys the chart from the feasibility study that is going to show you of where the revenue is going to come from. Okay, so this is just a broad generalization. There's a lot about the finance of it, and I could go in deeper, but I'm trying to just do sort of like a flyby overview here. So essentially, all the taxes that you currently pay as a Cobb County resident are going to the county as a whole. It's not staying local within our community. And one of the incredible benefits of having a City of East Cobb, it would allow the money that we pay into to stay here in East Cobb, not going to the entire county. The key word there is allocated funds. We're still part of the county. The county provides a lot of good services. Great schools. Being a Cobb resident, if you are over, I think it's 64 too, you get that senior tax discount. Those are amazing benefits of living in Cobb, okay? And those are gonna stay the same. But there are 6 different areas that the East Cobb Cityhood would be able to control or affect change. I'm gonna read them to you. All right, and those 6 different areas are planning and zoning, city administration, code enforcement, fire and police protection, elected officials, municipal courts, and parks and rec. Okay, now I can finally get to why I'm so passionate about the cityhood of East Cobb. 2 of the areas that I talked to you about, all are important and all have their amazing benefits, but planning and zoning and elected officials are the 2 main reasons I am passionate about the cityhood of East Cobb. Park Air, right there at Lower Roswell and Johnson Ferry, okay? There's a big Kroger, there's a Tijuana Joe's, there's a Tuesday Morning. That entire area has been purchased by a company called Jamestown, I think that's what it's called. Yes, Jamestown. And Jamestown is a real estate development company that does a lot of work out in New York City, out in California, a lot of other states. They've also done stuff in Georgia and they're headquartered here in Atlanta. And they are the folks that revitalized and did the whole Pont City Market thing. And they also did the Buckhead Villages. So they make a beautiful product. Here's the problem. Or I guess maybe not a problem if this is something you would want. I guess it's not hard to see where I stand on it. But do we want a Pont City Market type venue in East Cobb? Awesome that we could have great restaurants, awesome that we could have great retail, but do we want condos stacked on top of each other, apartments, who knows what else? Cobb County does, because that would obviously bring in a ton of revenue for not only property, because you'd be creating a bunch of other properties, but also for the shops and the restaurants. In addition to the Park Air area, the Avenue was just recently purchased by the same folks who built the Avalon. Do we want a hotel in the middle of East Cobb? Do we want another high rise? Do we want that traffic? Do we want people coming in and out of our community? And to be clear, they have not come out with their exact plans for those two different spaces, Jamestown or the folks that bought the Avenue. But if you look at all their previous developments, they all follow that same type of live, work, play, condos, apartments, hotels with retail space. And is that the type of community we want East Cobb to be? Historically, that's not at all what it has been. I am born and raised in East Cobb, and it was a way to get out of the city, not be in the city. And if we're not careful, we will become Sandy Springs with lots of high rises and lots of transient folks. Which brings me to why local representation is so important. Right now in Cobb County, we have 6 representatives, okay? 1 is in the East Cobb area. The rest of them are in other places within Cobb County. Tell me this, if I'm a Cobb representative, would I vote for that type of thing in a community that I don't live in? Absolutely. Think about the revenue that's going to bring in. Would I want that if I live in East Cobb? Probably not, because I know it's going to bring a lot more folks in and out. Think about traffic where we're at right now. There's a reason you chose to live in East Cobb and not in Smyrna or Sandy Springs. And if we are not careful, that is what we will become. And to be perfectly clear, Smyrna is an incredible area. Sandy Springs is an incredible area. But I chose East Cobb because I wanted a more residential, less transient neighborhood. And if we have these types of developments in the East Cobb area, it's going to change the whole feel of our community. Another reason I'm passionate about this is if you look at the road work that's been done in all of Cobb County, okay? There's been some stuff done in East Cobb, but in general, we've kind of gotten the short end of the stick. So those folks who live in a particularly large neighborhood that has some main drags, like, I don't know, Indian Hills, they have been wanting, or a lot of the residents have been wanting speed bumps for a while. Well, Cobb County in general, that's going to go pretty far down on their list as far as important things that they believe that Cobb County needs. Well, in our own cityhood, those are the types of things that we can advocate. And guess what? We're going to have the money because we're going to be our own cityhood and it's going to stay right here so we can get things like speed bumps in neighborhoods that are really big. All right, let's talk Parks and Rec now. East Cobb Park was built 20 years ago, which is hard to believe. There are some improvements that need to be made. Right now, because we're in all of Cobb County and our tax dollars for Parks and Rec goes to the whole county, we're paying for Parks and Rec all the way up from North Cobb to South Cobb to West Cobb. But this way, our tax dollars within East Cobb, we can go to improve things like East Cobb Park into whatever we feel like would be best that would be best serve the community. Maybe it's a special needs playground. Maybe it's, I don't know, walking trails, like level walking trails for elderly folks so they don't have to walk in malls anymore. I don't know. I'm going to try to wrap this up. I probably should have said this in the beginning, but do you realize Cobb County has just a little under 800,000 residents? 800,000. I was looking it up. We are larger, our county is larger than 6 states. Wyoming, Vermont, District of Columbia, which I guess is a district, Alaska, North Dakota, South Dakota. We have more people in our county than those people have in their entire states. So do those states have more representation than just one person? Absolutely. Because can you represent the special interest of that many people? No. I think that's one of the other reasons I'm so... Okay, so in conclusion, 1, you get an award if you listen to all this. 2, Cobb County, 800,000 residents. East Cobb has 59,000 residents. So we make up less than 10% of all of Cobb County. If we make up for such a small percentage of Cobb County, why are we paying for the rest of Cobb County? Don't we want somebody to represent our own special interest so we can better our little community? Yeah, I think so too.